Good evening, good morning, good afternoon, my dear brothers and sisters. Wherever you are, who may be present with me, I want to say it is quite a long time that I have been present amongst you, amongst us to share with you, but it happened that I wasn't feeling well, but God continues to sit on his chair, the chair of throne, to watch you and I, to strengthen you even when we are weak. And I may say it's been a hard time because during the Easter season, which we still are in, I lost my grandmother, and it's all been painful, but at the same time, God has remained, the reason to why you and I exist. You may be in doubt at this moment if truly God exists, if he cares about you, if he cares about your family. You may be in question, but really and truly, God is still alive. I was sharing with one of my friends whom we have shared a long time. He's from Kenya, yes, and his name is DJ, DM Kamso. Yeah, so I was sharing with him anyway. He had just gotten an accident, He's telling me, because I saw in his status, he had stated that, thanking God for saving his life. And so he realized there was another chance that God had given to him. And my dear brothers, whoever is online, you can comment, you can say something, you're free, right? Yeah, this is a house where you feel free. It is a spiritual kitchen, and at the same where you feed yourself, spiritually or physically, because you live here knowing that someone takes care of your burden as you take care of yourself. So feel free to share. Anyway, so DM had an accident early this evening. He was just going home from his common errands, and so he was in a bike and he met with this vehicle that hit his motorbike and pushed him, flung him beside the road. And the amazing thing is that he wasn't aware of where he is. He found himself in the hospital. And so he was happy sharing with me because he had now gone back home, and he was saying to me, God really cares, he's given me another chance. And I was saying to him, give your life to God. What are you waiting, man? I mean, it's amazing. But as you know, guys, take time, to think. And I can't blame them because I'm a thinker also. I do take time, even to make decisions. And I think it is important that all of us do that. So he said to me that he really thanked God for giving him another chance. He's telling me I would be dead by now. And I'm saying to him, well, Actually, we would be posting you now on our status, rest in peace, DM, we loved you so much, this and that, But God loves you most. And he's given you another chance to serve him and to serve his people, And I have a belief that God takes you, once you're done, actually, with your work here on earth. And my dear brothers, don't mind about the video. It might not be clear, but pick up the message. Yeah, the problem is that I have a problem with the camera when I go live because my laptop is in a mess. So don't worry, unless you're willing to donate a laptop. That will be of great help for me and to me, and I mean to my fans, who are more than 600, no, it's not 600 because the viewers are a lot, but subscribers are maybe 600, but 600 people, to know that you have 600 people behind you, that tells me that there is a power that God is manifesting in me and in you, and that's why you're moved either to share this video, to subscribe, or to view, or to say good things about it to your friends. All of these little things, I do not take them for granted. My dear friends, I do not take them for granted. You who might be present watching there, I do not take you for granted. You could be doing a lot of things. You could be, doing your cooking or other things, but you take your little break, your 2 minutes to listen and to watch this video. I really applaud you. I appreciate you. You're very important. Going back to the story, the COVID-19 continued to manifest itself in many countries. And to the worst of it, even to the countries that already have the Sputnik or something, I think that's the name, and AstraZeneca, these are the vaccines, even the countries that are modeling this, that are producing this, that are manufacturing all these vaccines, the COVID continue to manifest themselves there. And I was sharing to one of my friends from India. Unfortunately, I shared with 2 friends from India but one of them who shared with me early this morning, and he was saying to me that in their states, the ambulances, like 10 of them will line up, whistling, trying to bring sick people who are infected with COVID-19. And the worst part of it is that they have nowhere to admit them because all the hospital beds are occupied. And this is a situation that so many people are in so many countries, even like Kenya, still people are battling with this COVID-19. The previous day, I was sharing with one of my friends by name Ritik, a friend that I have known for about 5 years now. And he was saying to me how he lost a friend and how his friend have lost a friend, a very young fellow. So this disease is a serious disease, my friends, especially we young people who take these things for granted. Be careful of what you touch and where you go afterward, because we are taking these infections, these viruses to our parents, to our senior citizens, and even to the children who are more vulnerable. So it is good that we notice that it is killing even the youngsters. Yes, youngsters are dying. I saw police at a particular place, which I'm not going to call the name. A lot of people had a party somewhere beside the seashore. And the police came, and I mean, everybody had to run on their feet. Some had vehicles, some were able to run, and some ran really just use their feet. It's called the Route 11. And they run for their life. I'm telling you, this was serious, And then others couldn't run, couldn't move. They were caught. Others couldn't leave their bike, so they were asked to push their bike and put it in the police truck, So I'm trying to bring you about. And then he said to me, this friend of mine from India, he said to me that one of his friend's mother is in ICU. Do not see it as a joke. And being in ICU, that means simply death or life. So let's take this seriously, guys, Yes, I love you most. I love you. And that is why I want to alert you. We who are taking these things for granted, we must not take these things for granted. The COVID-19 virus, whether it is a man-made or whatever made, whether it is from the animals or from the plants or from human beings, it is a serious thing. It is affecting our world. It is affecting our brothers, closest brothers and sisters. It is affecting our neighbors. It is affecting those acquainted to us. Worst, it has gone to our villages, So we must take this serious. And let us also inform our people, especially those in the countryside, who sometimes, also just take things for granted. That the things they buy in the shops, would come along with the virus on it. Especially, things like grills, This virus is said to take more time on the grills, And so it is important that you take care of yourself and take care of others and inform also those who may be ignorant and those who are naturally ignorant, those who do not want to hear. I also talked to another friend, his name is Monobi, and he said to me, it is worse, it is worse that is still in India. And so, my dear brothers, be cautious. And the whole matter as to why I'm sharing this is one thing, things have changed. You've seen that churches never keep as usual, There's no gathering where people used to gather and share their issues. That time is limited. And so the whole dimension of how this world runs have changed. There's no more, dining at a restaurant. All you have is to, the fast food where you go and pick it up and go, Then you have to find water. You have to pass through a lot of sanitizing areas, And, if possible, wash the things that you buy, If you have a spray them, because you really don't know where this virus is. And it is in a lot of things, because even in a supermarket, that people touch this and that, things, they pick up things, return them to the same place that they were. So it is a whole matter of us being, extra careful. Again, not with fear, because fear can be very dangerous, but be extra careful, of everything that we do. And how much more, if we are careful about these things, how much should we be careful about the kingdom of God? We've never seen him but we know and believe that he exists and he's alive. The last part that I want to touch is to encourage people. I know there's so much difficulties. I see a lot of people posting, even in their status, of how deep they are into depressions, into stress, even into giving up. Just 2 days ago, one of my brothers who trust me most, came to me and asked me if I could encourage somebody who is planning to give up, if I could write something on his phone, on his messenger, as a response to this person. And my first thing, as I always do to people, is to ask them, do you know that you have a purpose in this world? Do you know that you have a reason as to why you were born? A reason as to why that you didn't die after your death, your birth, or during birth, that you're born and you exist. Do you understand your purpose? You have a purpose. And that purpose, it is only you who will accomplish it. The moment you live, believe me, that square, that circle where you sit, nobody can fill it apart from you yourself. You are unique. You are special. You are important. You're the light of this world. And remember, as I was reminded this evening by one of, maybe a motivator, he reminds me of a scripture that says, that God will only grant you the battles that you can manage. And a lot of battles comes to those who are strong, because God knows he'll grant you the strength to move on and to overcome. So do not easily give up. Do not easily give up. Move on courageously. Trust in God. And especially to my young people. And my dear friends, feel free to share. Feel free to say something. Sorry. Somebody posted on the WhatsApp, one of the WhatsApp groups that I'm in. And this, I think it's a lady or a female, I'm not so sure. A male, I'm not so sure. He said that he feels boredom. And it is common that these days, most of the young people say of how boredom they are. And I was saying to the person, because it is actually on a Sunday, I said to the person, and I know the churches were open, with a limitation of about 30 persons that worshippers. I say to the person, why don't you just kill your time? This the only language sometimes you can use to young people who are desperate. Why don't you kill your time and visit a church nearby? It doesn't matter at that very moment which church, but visit a church nearby. Somehow, I believe that God would create an opening for you, But I didn't add that. But the whole point, visit a church nearby. Because many times when this boredom comes, starvation in your spirit, when you feel dry, you don't want to even love people. I see always someone who posts in her status that, kiss me teeth, I hate people. I mean, what is that? What is the whole point if you hate people? Don't you know that people are moving on with their lives? Don't you know that people are still progressing? Don't you know that people are still getting their promotions? Then you're going to be a master of hatred. You're going to be Mr. Hate, Miss Hate. And what is all that to you? What do you gain after that? You know, speak positive. Be positive to yourself and even towards others. You know, there's no room for hate that may hate people. That doesn't change their position. It would even maybe make you worse, you know. So, my dear friends, let us remain steadfast, steadfast in God's love. COVID-19 has found us and it shall leave us. But it should not leave us as it found us. COVID-19 came when we were unaware. Now that we've learned, we must make sure that each of us, before the COVID-19 ends, that we have learned a lesson. Either increase in our creativity, or closeness towards God, or closeness towards others, and even knowing more of ourselves. It is very clear to me that most people had not even discovered themselves. And that is why we had a lot of even divorce in so many countries. A lot of people have divorced because when they were put into the lockdown, it was only then that their wives and their husbands were able to discover their real colors, which meant that even during the dating and courtship, these people didn't fully know each other. And of course, you know that most people live by masking up themselves. And that is why it is very bad to mask up yourself. You know, stay in the light. The devil wants us to hide. He wants us to hide our reality, the persons that we are. He does not want us to come into light. He does not want us to be known. That is the work of the evil one. But if we are people of light, we are going to seek where there is light. We are going to express our views. Some people might like it, others might not like it. And that's all part of life, even though that requires maturity. I know this video has been the longest amongst all, but my dear brothers, especially those who are live with me, I pray that God bless you. May God shower you with every grace that is necessary. May God see you through and through. May God bless your family members. May God cover them, that none of them shall die before the maturity of their time of their death comes. I pray that God eliminate every sickness that is there in your family. Every evil that is set for you and every bad plan, I'm praying that God delete it, remove it, destroy it. I am praying that happiness be your portion. You who is live and who will listen to this message afterward, know that you're a part of God's blessing. He shall not pass you by. You are his portion. He thinks of you that you think of yourself. How great is our God. How great is his movements. How great to know that he is your shepherd. He takes care of you. He minds about you. Even you who are there and you're ignorant, really ignorant about God, that you disbelieve in him. You don't believe that he has risen from the dead. I want to assure you that this will be a different night. It will be a different day for you because God is after you. He is in search of you. Just like Saint Augustine said one day, I chose all the precious of this world, yet you are always looking for me. I ran after happiness, forgetting that you are the cause and the source of the real happiness that I was looking for. I thirsted for you until I found you. This will be your song from today henceforth. Feel encouraged. Feel moved. Feel moved. I believe that you are no longer the same. I believe that you have been empowered to wake up tomorrow and go courageously to your job, knowing that you are unique and you are important. Even if your boss does not recognize you, even if your boss does not consider you, even if your deeds, your actions seems to be invisible, that is where your blessings lie. Remember, Jacob was even thrown into a pit. How you call it again? To a reservoir of water. And after he was sold to Egypt, he went and became a king there. His brothers sought him his brothers had to plead with him to forgive them. This is how God is planning for your life. This is how God is going to do with your life. My dear brothers, remember to subscribe. Remember to share. Remember to watch. Like this video. It is for you. It is for myself.